DAVIDEMETRI, live in color. Oh, yeah. We're live in color. DAVIDEMETRI, live in color. Yeah. Direct from Southern California, Inland Empire. Inland Empire. Guess what city I's in? Can you guess? It might be a prize if you can guess. We're live stream on Instagram at DAVIDEMETRI. We're live stream at Instagram at DAVIDEMETRI. We're live stream on Facebook at DAVIDEMETRI Johnson. We're live streaming direct to you from DAVIDEMETRI Live in Color on YouTube, youtube.com, DAVIDEMETRI Live in Color. We're live streaming from youtube.com on OWU, the original World Union on YouTube. Two YouTubes, Original World Union and DAVIDEMETRI Live in Color. Today we'll be doing what I call faith in true rights, truth and rights. Faith in true rights, truth and rights teaching. That book will be released by next year, but coming up soon, we'll be releasing Outline to Empowered. That's right. My second book release, Outline to Empowered, How to Do and What to Know for Evolutionary Living. Oh yeah, the book was released. Not this book, but my other books. I took down my other series because I had work to do with that book series because of the realizations I came across, and also because this book is the priority. It's the story of my life from childhood, teenhood, and adulthood, and I'm releasing How to Do, What to Know for Evolutionary Living. Outline to Empower is the name of the book. How to Do and What to Know for Evolutionary Living. It will be released by the end of this year. But we are in the end of the year right now. We're almost in holiday season. We just had Labor Day, so this is September. We're on the 18th of September, correct, everybody? Yes, we should be the 18th. Oh, we're the 20th of September. The 20th of September. I was a couple of days behind. And so I'm grateful. I'm thankful that y'all are tuned in and everything is a good vibe. That's the importance of me doing this, encouraging you to have good vibes, good energy, positive energy. Feel good about yourself and your heart, and your mind will follow. Feel good about yourself and your heart, and your mind will follow. Feel good in your spirit, your heart and mind will follow. Feel good in your spirit, your heart and mind will follow. Feel good in your soul, your spirit, your heart, and your mind will follow. Feel good as a soul. As a soul, you are a soul. Feel good as a soul. And your spirit, your heart, and your mind, and your physical body shall follow. Mashing the place up is DAVIDEMETRI, livening you up, giving you what you need. Today we're going to be discussing something that many don't want to be bothered with, but I'm not all about the trends, all right? So I'm more like how they do podcasts, you know. I'm not trying to compete with these heads out here in the live streaming world in a sense of entertainment. I'm more like in the vibe of edutainment. All right, so what I'm going to bring to you is knowledge of self. Know what I mean? Knowledge of nature. So what is the Amen, who you call God if you speak English? The Amen is nature of nature. That's that vibe that you're feeling inside when you come into these real eyes. We have to realize. We have to realize the level of that we on. So today we're gonna talk about succubus spirits, types, what it is. Keep it simple. Why? Because we're in this time, in this world, I keep telling y'all, is in contention. It's in contention. You know what I mean? We live in a world that's in contention. I repeat, in contention. In other words, there's a competition for control over this world we live in. We are the selfish dwellers. Don't think there's not inner earth dwelling. And when I say earth, I mean the world we live in, the planet. I mean, don't think there's not sentient beings with technology that live in the earth. I'm going to tell you something. a lot of y'all don't realize, and I know you don't, and you won't even admit, who y'all think is aliens coming from other planets, coming from those stars, they're actually coming from inside the earth. You know what I mean? It could be mind bending when you coming out of you thought you could do only a couple of years of coming out of the lie and the truth. You thought you could only realize, oh, they lied to us about this, they lied to us about that. And you thought it would just be one thing or two things or a few. You thought it'd be only a season of your life realizing this lie, and then you even thought, hold on, I found out this because of science, and you come and find out the science is fraud. The science is fraudulent. That they control those that are the they, and we're gonna get into that. We have to do this talk. Well, they control the information. All right, you know what I'm saying? Like John Mayer said in that song, "Waiting on the World to Change." They control the information, right? Well, John Mayer had that part right, but in that song he said, "We're waiting on the world to change." That's a bumbleclot. That's foolish. You're supposed to be making the world change. You're supposed to believe in thou self. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to have a feeling about yourself. And so that's what's going on. You have to have a vibe about yourself. You have to be not just going through that season, that short season of you realizing facts over fiction, where you're in your early 20s. You know, some people is when they're later in life, but it's supposed to be your whole life that you're defrauding the hoax. You know what I'm saying? They got witches, warlocks, spooks, and holy ghosts. RZA, let's defraud the hoax. That's what we doing here. We defrauding the hoax. So what is a succubus spirit? Well, what would you think it is? That's my question to you. You know what I'm saying? We sounding the alarm. We bringing the noise. We bringing the noise. It's not a laughing matter, because some of these people is succubuses they self. You know what I'm saying? You know how many people didn't want me to have a live stream like this? You know how many people even live around me? I don't even know them. I don't know their name. Now, if they haters, they jealous, and don't think I'm gonna try to call out racist. No, I'm talking about my own people. Trying to force me to have something to do with them, force me to have something to do with them. I barely even move, and they want all my energy. Ain't that motherfucker tired from having to move all this shit out of house and out of a goddamn another house and out of a storage? Why in the fuck would you be fucking with someone unless you offering to help? This is parasites. I'm gonna give you down to earth parasitical tendencies, how these lowlifes walk around here. No matter what fashion, no matter what race, you guys need to get out of that race dumb shit. The young people don't have that dumb ass shit in their mind. Young people get it. Yeah, there's races that are young, but the majority of super majority of younger, and when I say younger, I mean like, I would say 35 and younger. I would say about that age group. But really, it gets really, that's about the majority. But when you want to get into their super majority, you're going like 25 and younger. You're going like 30 and younger. Those people don't, all they care about is energy, consciousness, what you about. They're not caught up in that industrial age, said that empire and conquest age bullshit. You know what I mean? It's people that came up with that made race a priority out of desperate needs because they wanted to keep control over their own people. They said, well, we're going to turn our own people into a war machine, into tormentors. It's as simple as fucking that. It's bizarre. You got to understand how bizarre it is. But the cold thing is like, yeah, again, I'm sounding the alarm, I'm bringing the noise. But you have to understand the depths of how we're living in the aftermath of some elitist friggin' agenda, and then the elitists after that, their agenda, and the elitists after that, their agenda. They're adapting to what the hell they're gonna do offensively to the majority and masses of people. But the majority and masses of people haven't got on their feet to adapt to what these elites are doing. So we're gonna talk about the succubuses and who they are, what they are. You know what I mean? On some down to earth shit. Not necessarily just about these elites and government and shit. I'm talking about people in your life. That's why I was talking about moving into a space and the people already living around you is trying to drain you for your energy and get all your attention. You drain. You don't have time to say hi to everybody. They need to give you a chance and take their turn, take their time. But this is parasitical behavior. You know what I mean? And so I will define what succubus is. And then I'm just getting this together for y'all because I want this to come correct. And then as a matter of fact, while I'm doing this, let me share something with y'all. So we're gonna start off with we talking about succubuses and the different forms. So let's just talk about the different form of succubus. We got vampires. You know what I'm saying? You got vampires. Dobby. You got vampire. You got parasites. You know what I mean? You got leeches. You know what I mean? And all of those are sabotagers. But this is what we're gonna deal with. We're gonna break these down real quick and how they fit in your own personal life and how they fit over the rulership of the world and what they doing and what you could do about it in your personal life, of course. And straight up, I'm gonna do this like I'm gonna just drop these jewels, because if you don't know Wagwan, except in your own little experiences, you're gonna keep going through those, repeating those experiences. You gotta have the big picture and what the hell's going on in the big picture. And one of the problems with us, why we're not able, whoever we are, not able to effectively, especially I like speaking to men, heterosexual men and aggressive heterosexual men, the protectors, the defenders, and the heralds of the information, the teachers, the messengers, and the prophets. You know what I'm saying? The priests. And so, but my message is universal for women and anyone else. But vampires, parasites, and leeches are succubuses. The succubus spirit is something that we need to come in and deal with, especially as men. So you have to understand the succubus spirit is about covetousness. And so you're dealing with jealousy. You're dealing with envy and jealousy. All right? So you have to recognize that in your own self, first of all. So you have to have knowledge of self. You have to have knowledge of Satan itself. I'm going to repeat that. You have to have knowledge of self. You know what I'm saying? You have to have knowledge of Satan itself, knowledge of God itself, and self as God. You know what I mean? You can't be slipping on those. You really got to recognize that you could be bit by the vampire and start turning into a parasite, a leech. And that is covetousness. You're going to be a succubus. You're going to be wanting what other people have, wanting to be what they have, wanting to be what they are. You want their positions. Ain't nothing wrong with desiring stuff, but you got to go back into your own world and do what it takes to achieve that. You might have to transform your whole self, because if you was right then and there able to get put in somebody like Michael Jordan's shoes or Bruce Lee's shoes, you know what I'm saying? You got put in Malcolm X's shoes, you'll get fucked all the way up. You're not ready to do what Malcolm X was dealing with. You know what I mean? You want to get put in Puff Daddy's shoes 10 years ago, and they put you in their shoes, and now here you go 10, 15 years later, now your ass is in prison. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't ready for that shit. You ain't made like that. You know what I mean? So first of all, don't be a succubus sitting up there giving off energy, jealous and envious. You know what I'm saying? Covetedness. Covetedness is lusting for what somebody is or what they have. You know what I'm saying? Get your own woman. You can get a woman and quit wanting a woman so bad when it ain't time. Get your own money. You gonna have your own money and quit wanting that money when it ain't time. The level of money when it ain't time. It's always about yourself. It's never about things. Things is part of it. You're supposed to desire things. You're supposed to want things. Don't be walking around thinking you a Buddhist. You're not a Buddhist. Don't be also walking around here thinking you a materialistic clone, drone. You gotta have balance. So you're supposed to desire certain things, but you're supposed to have things at a certain time. We all can't be rich at the same time. You know what I'm saying? We all can't be the ruler and king at the same time. You know what I'm saying? We all can't, the women can't all be the king, the queen and priestess at the same time. We all have our time. So succubus spirits, whether it's vampire, whether it's leeches or parasites, all are sabotagers, and all are covetousness and lust. And you could check any spiritual teachings, whether it's indigenous, whether it's judo religions, which is the Abrahamic religions, which I shouldn't have to name, whether you in Buddhist, it's just a universal principle governing in us that we all have our own. That's what, whether it's the positive side of it or negative is, we all are our own soul. But as a whole, we all are one huge soul. And then there's the humans that don't have souls. Oh yeah, we dropping it today because that's what we doing. But we're gonna keep it simple. All right. So I want y'all to think of yourself like this. Y'all seeing it, feeling it, brother? You going with the flow with the water. With the rock, the ray sun shining on you. You basking in that water. You throwing it, you moving. So that's why I said self comes first. Knowledge is self. So you got to battle. You're in a world of contention. You got to keep your balances when them waves are hitting you. If you're looking on the screen and you see me in the ocean practicing the martial arts battle, shadow battling, the warrior. That's what we do in this world. The psycho-spiritual, it ain't all about physical. Three-dimensional. We dealing with the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 battle. Because we are high principality. Without us, the world don't exist. They can't kill off the bees. They can't kill off the rhinos. You know what I'm saying? We that. And so, gratitude, y'all. I wanted you to come down to earth with yourself. What's up, JP Morgan? 217. Mashing the place up. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get deep now. So now that we know succubus spirits are vampires, leeches, and parasites, we know succubus is covetousness and lusting after others, what others have. You know what I'm saying? Even being as those historical European Draco leaders who had that -0 blood, and they had that condition where they have to I forgot what it's called, but they have this condition where it starts with a P. They can't grow skin, and they have to drink blood to continue, human blood to continue to exist. Now they inject it into them. It's a literal condition that only manifests out of Europeans. Now we got that in our everyday life, dealing with family members, associates on jobs, classmates, professors, teachers, police officers, doctors, nurses. You got all kind of different of that, but on a psycho-spiritual level. You understand? So it's bizarre. But we so desensitized to it that we don't realize the really heartbreaking reality that we living in. We so far in the future, it's no longer that the swords are out and the rock bombs are being thrown from the little wood machine, and the Europeans are coming in with the swords and the guns, shooting, killing everybody, massacring everybody. That's no longer what it is. Now the succubus spirits, which is the vampire, the leeches, and parasites, you know what I mean, and sabotagers. But the sabotagers, of course, come in all those forms. Sabotage is just something they do. But you got to understand, these parasites, leeches, and vampires, these different forms of succubuses. It's one spirit. Just like like I'm gonna do a whole talk. I told y'all I got multiple talks already recorded, but those are gonna be my pre-records on the YouTubes. But the spirit of false accusation is a succubus tactic. And it's a fucking strategy to destroy heterosexual righteous men. You understand me? These are spirits. These are literal entities with consciousness. And so you could be God body and 5% and say, well, I don't believe in that. That's you. You have to realize there's different levels of consciousness in this metaphysical sphere. So people can live behind what they call Ashe, Ani, and Ifa. They can leave behind a vibration in their consciousness, just like in ancient civilizations, indigenous civilizations. They used to get those different crystals. Now you go to the malls, you go to the marketplace, people be selling that. And you can get your consciousness and leave that in there. They used to leave their consciousness in those crystals. And then whoever the chosen one was amongst the priest class, I'm talking about our ancient civilizations, where they all call it a Moorish civilization, indigenous, a melanin, black. They used to get the crystals, and when someone was passing away, they would get that spirit of consciousness, not their soul, but the spirit of consciousness and all they knew and learned. They would put it in a crystal and store it there until another person is developed to be the chosen one. That they went through the rites and rituals and actually endured, and they had the pure heart, etc. And they were able to get that consciousness, and they would put it in them, and now they, in that spirit of consciousness, could solve all the problems, could develop everything, could see this coming and that coming, could help control the weather, could communicate with all the, they be starving to death, they would make the, tell them what they had to do, and they would vibrate to make the foods grow, even if it was freezing, even if it was smothering hot. You see, that's what was stole from us, because the wicked ones chose and went to the lowest vibration of the terrestrial world, out of the celestial, to totally use physical destruction. No psychological, not even spiritual. Just, we're gonna rip everything apart physical first that they have. Then we're gonna bring in those of us that have brains. Then we're gonna bring in those of us that got some form of spirit, but they had no soul. This is what we were up against. So we, in 3,800 years later, 3,900 years later, we probably 4,000 years later. You see where I'm getting at? So that's why I'm doing this succubus spirit talk, because things have redefined now. We live in a literal matrix. And I know I ain't saying nothing new, but I'm saying it in a specific way that fits for you. 2024, September 20th. Going into the time where they're going to fuck around and put the wrong person in there as a president in these cases, which over the last 400 years, since the 1500s, was fucking tormenting all dark-skinned melanoids. Then they gave us a story and act like dark-skinned melanoids wasn't here. And act like we ain't did nothing. And now they trying to replace us with people coming over here from other places. They got all these prisons, etc. All this is high-level government succubus spirit activity. Because the origination of this specific spatio-temporal zone that they call, you can call it Earth, Gaia, Sakpata and Yoruba, know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Gab, Afua Gab, Asasa Afua, and Akan, regardless of what you call it. You know what I mean? Tiamat, you have to recognize that what's really vibing is that we have a future. We are the future. They want you to not believe there will be another golden age. There is already a golden age and you already incarnated there. You were sent back here to vibrate that energy here. But we keep thinking we gotta look in the past and glorify in the past. That's why they got your ass. You got to communicate with yourself. You know how things be happening, you be like, that's the ancestors. Y'all gotta take it to the next level. They destroyed what we had. And this is a secret knowledge they never wanted, ours never let them know. The highest priest level, the highest, priestess level. This is the dragon level. This is the phoenix level. Y'all ain't fucking with somebody y'all fucked with before when you fucking with me. I'm telling you, we supposed to be getting things done in our life from ourselves in the future. We too busy thinking the ancestors are just from the past. You gotta get past that. That's why your whole life ain't nothing but a memory. It's a memory reflection. It ain't no damn learning. The only thing you can learn is how to do the processes of these technologies. You know what I'm saying? My roadcaster, my Field World Live One switcher. That shit unnatural. So you ain't gotta learn that. How to relationship with mom and dad and women and all that. That's just memory. You literally meeting people you already knew from the future, not from the past. They played us. We own the future. We are the future. We have to, in everything we do, be future. But we keep thinking you got to go and figure out this and this from the past. You got to be communicated with yourself and those from the future if you want to do anything effective in your life to take yourself to another level. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck right where you at, repeating over. In fact, you might become a succubus, which is a leech, parasite, or a damn vampire. And that's how cold, and that's what this is. It's like, if you do not get with the program, you're going to get by the program. Just like an elder told me way back in 93. We on 94th and Figueroa. I'm down there coming from boxing training and all that different stuff. You know what I'm saying? The Mosleys was down there that day. I come back, he like, yeah, you thinking about your money. That's why you come down. My face all, I got bruises and stuff. Just not having a great day. He told me, you got to get your money. Don't let your money make you. That stuff come with injuries. All this. They be cheating black men. They just cheated Pernell Whitaker. He beat Ox De La Hoya and Chavez. So you should probably do something different. They going to try to cheat you and misuse you. You got to get your money. Don't let your money make you. So the same thing, y'all. We got to get our life and not let our life make us. We have to focus on the future. I'm not talking about your immediate future. I'm talking about your literal reincarnation. I'm not just talking about we got to do this for our future generations. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you literally need to be communicating with your future self that's in the golden age, which I call Owu. If you not communicated with your future self that's living in the golden age in the future, you're going to keep repeating and repeating and repeating. It's going to be erratic, eating away at you. You got to have a good vibe like this vibration you hear in this music. That's not accidental. because that's a golden age of which we already incarnated to. They got us fucking around thinking about ancestors from the past all the time, ancestors and then you got some people that get it twisted and get to thinking that they supposed to be fighting and suffering and all this shit. That's bullshit. Your ancestors in no way, form, or fashion are the ones telling you that. You're supposed to be having it good and living good, yet you're supposed to be using that strong energy to prepare for whatever battles are coming. You see, so how in the hell you gonna know what's happening if your ancestors never lived in this time with all this technology and all this trickery, all this trick knowledge? Saying pulling you out your knowledge of self every day. Knowledge of self is a growing thing. It ain't no immediate, it just happened thing. It's an everyday growth thing. You know what I'm saying? You go through you go through the cipher to the 9 to repeat the cipher, to the 9 to repeat the cipher, to the 9. Knowledge of self ain't read a book, live in this. Right here, this is all it is, knowledge of self until you pass on. But you got to know we re-energize into the physical. This world, this big thing you can call it a planet or whatever, it does the same thing. Re-energizes, its vibration changes for certain periods. So that's part of understanding the importance of understanding and refreshing yourself. Oh, I got that knowledge of that about succubus, about vampires, leeches. I got that down. Can't nobody fade me. This and this and this. I got mine. I get mine. No, we've all fallen. Everybody played the fool. No exceptions to the rules. All right. So let's recognize that. So these opportunists, these succubus spirits, vampire leeches, or parasites, all are sabotagers. They're opportunists. They're covetous. They're covetous. They're coveting you. They covet. They envy. And it grows into jealousy. They're coveting what you have. They will cut your throat. They're sinister. They could be a family member, an associate, somebody you know from a neighborhood, anybody. And someone that could have been okay, could have got vampired and turned into a vampire, turned into a succubus spirit, and now you think they still that same person. Boom, they get you. So how did Muhammad Ali do it? How did Pernell Whitaker do it? How were they undefeatable? How was Floyd Mayweather undefeatable? How was Barry Sanders untouchable on the football field? Walter Payton. You see what I'm saying? How are these people, Serena Williams, untouchable? Going back to the basics over and over again and practicing the basics. So when you think you learned something and you live in real life, the human memory does not constantly be able to recall things, even if necessary. This is why you got to repeat what you learned, get sharpened, and find out the upgraded data on it for your particular specific circumstances in your spatio-temporal zone. Metaphysics dropping. Yeah. So the opportunist spirit is a succubus spirit. The parasite spirit is a succubus spirit. The leech, the vampire, they want to use or fake associations with you. It's somebody in your life right now that want to fake associations with you. They go back and say the things you said, but in your face, they disagree. They fake like they paying you no attention, but they going back dressing like you, acting like you, talking like you. They post and they post like you. Know what I mean? But they campaigning against you. They saying this and this about you. They saying that you doing that to them. They saying they caught you trying to do what? Because these people believe that's their talent. That's their idea. That's their ambition. Know what I mean? And so they trying to leech you. No. Parasite you. They haven't bit you. They ain't vampiring you. They parasiting you. Know what I mean? That's what's going on. No matter who you are, no matter what community you part of. You could be Rasta, 5% Moorish. Know what I mean? Ifa, Bakongo. Know what I mean? You could be Mayan. Know what I mean? From South America. It don't matter. You could be Negas from over in Asia. It don't matter whoever you is. You could be one of them Irish. It don't matter. Somebody is doing this. Somebody is being a parasite in your life. They're reflecting that they're taking your reflection, your ideas, your ambition, everything, because that's all they can do. They don't have the ability, because their soul has either an odon, an ether. That means they are disconnected from their soul consciousness. I always teach people. This world is in contention. Your life is in contention every moment. It's a battle over your soul. Your soul is the consciousness you are, the vibration you are, the ability to realize, know, and transcend and vibrate consciousness to others. The creator, the life giver. But the ego is an adapter which sits up and just reflects whatever is attracted. It's a mirror. In both, the emotions come from the soul. The ego is attached to the soul as a reflector and even giver of information which could cause emotions. Not everybody, an odon is when someone's soul consciousness has gone so low, they can just like a machine just wash. Drink. You ever meet somebody that don't drink water? They got an odon. You met somebody that don't drink water. You realize the significance of what I'm asking you? That means their neuron centers aren't even right there. They have a calcified connection when it comes to their pineal gland and their spine and to the other parts of their brain. So how is their melanin functioning into their brain proper? It's not. That's why they on that sniff white powder. Peel popping. Some people even get this medicated marijuana that ain't real ganja, alcohol, sex addiction, lying, gossiping. That's parasite behavior. They going behind your back, smiling in your face. You see what I'm saying? Now, we ain't focused on the negative with this. I'm telling you, you have a future self. You communicate with your future self. I'm going to keep circling back to that because your soul consciousness in contention with your ego consciousness. Then the world is a big ego. That's what they want you to think. No, the Amen is the nature of nature. A Rasta would call Rastafari, the Nagas Rastafari is nature of nature. We are nature observing itself. We are the true and living God and Goddess. But we are nature observing itself. But nature of nature is God, the Amen, the force be with you. Know what I mean? You really have to get this vibe where it's helping you because you got to communicate with your future self. How did he know this? I have not read a damn book that talk about any of this. My future self is who kept them from killing me in them ghettos I lived in. Kept me from going to prison like everybody else or getting killed where I live. In the actual worst ghetto of the United States of America at them damn times. Had the biggest amount of killings, and it was us killing each other. And I wasn't no square. How did I survive? I wasn't a backstabber. I wasn't a parasite. It's because I didn't realize, but I was communicating with my future self. Know what I mean? I didn't have that deep knowledge of self. I just had some jewels. Someone told me about the math, gave me a few classes. It was 86 through 88. Know what I mean? Then somebody else told me, you know what I'm saying? They was a Hebrew, black Hebrew. They told me about that. They was from Florida. They were part of that movement. Then we go in the 90s. I start, living in. But my point is, it wasn't me only. It was my future self. And I always said that. I'm communicating with my future self. People, he crazy. What are you talking about? No, it's God. No, we are God. But they talking, and it's the same people right now that realize that we are God, that's sitting up acting like they the leaders, but they was hating on us because we knew we were God and we were teaching that we were God. You got to watch who you following, y'all. They popular and all that shit, but they on some bullshit. They ain't telling you how long they was on crack. You know what I mean? I went through all that shit and didn't get on it. Straight up. In the streets, my mom was blind, had to pay her rent, had to drop out of school, did all of it. Got locked up with youth authority as a teenager. No, I mean, I'm the true and living. Youth authority is and never went to prison after that because I already got prison when I was a teenager. And I'm telling you, man, you have to communicate. We all go through it. We all have a story. But one thing we have in common is our future self. I know the ancestors. Y'all got to evolve to the high priest level. That's for the masses. We here in the United States, we're in the belly of the beast. And we're the foundational Black Americans. We're the true and living. We're not like the others. We are supposed to have the highest vibration, the highest consciousness. It was given unto us. So I'm telling you, it's our future stuff that we're neglecting. And it's trying to get us to communicate with it so that we can go to different levels while we're here, because if not, our heart won't be lighter than a feather, and we're gonna have to reincarnate back down in these times instead of the golden age that's coming. Let them keep playing with you and you keep playing yourself, because they succubuses, they leeches, parasites, and all this. They fake prophets, they fake messages, they fake teachers. You got your foundation, just like Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather, Serena Williams, Bruce Lee. You always seen them practicing the same thing over and over again, but they got all these different type of people doing all kind of type of things to try to beat them, but they keep somehow winning. You got to get your foundation solid and keep relearning your foundation. That's why you don't jump around from teacher to teacher, man. You playing yourself. And you as teachers, do you keep seeking new people to teach? Well, how are you going to develop those you teaching? You know what I'm saying? The capitalist, hyper-capitalist society got everybody doing things twisted. But anyway, these parasites, we just on parasites, we're going to get into leeches in a minute. Parasites are fake associates, fake family members. Just because somebody has the same genetic line don't mean they're your real family. You got to get out of the mythology. What you think Santa Claus is coming down the chimney and you living in a motherfucking apartment that don't even got one. I mean, come on now. That was your homie. Now you, wherever you at in the world, they trying to get you fired off the job. They didn't became a total succubus. Now that's not a parasite. That is a total vampire. When somebody is trying to destroy what you have, that's a vampire succubus spirit. I was just talking about the parasites who want to steal your style, your swag, your ideas, go wrong with it. Like Jay-Z said, you made it a dope rhyme, I made it a dope song. Get the fuck out of here, my nigga. Like, seriously, like you gonna sit up and make your career off of everybody? Now it's out, but I already knew because I was in the industry. I was around MCs. You know what I'm saying? I was at the Unity. Wu-Tang was at the Unity. All the real MCs that made it was coming through the Unity with Bigger B and all them. You know what I mean? Out in the valley, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there with everybody that's real, you know what I'm saying? Moving peas, you know what I'm saying? To them. Even the actors. So I knew the inside scoop, and I'm telling you, man, it's all games. It's a lot of games that got played. Another thing about these parasites, they never had anything. You ever meet anybody that don't have a talent, don't got a gift? They so damn square. That's why people be super religious. They never had anything. They never had a talent. They never got no attention. They can't walk in a room and get noticed. You know what I'm saying? They can't get nobody to laugh. They're scared. They're scary. They got low self-esteem. I ain't putting nobody down. I'm telling you just like it is. You got to watch who it is you feeling sorry for and having pity. Pity is with guilt. All those negative things. That's another thing about succubus. They got these negative things. So they made it popular to have pity on people. What type of shit? You can be compassionate and empathetic and generous without pity. You could do that and be having fun and making them have fun. It's like I've been locked up, man. You gonna nobody visiting you feeling sad? Fuck you, don't come in here feeling sad. I need you to make me feel better. People got things backwards. That's the whole point of this trick knowledge. The spirit of succubus is trick knowledge. It went over in every area of life. How you gonna visit somebody in jail feeling sad, making them sad? They already sad. They need you to come in there cracking jokes, feeling good, talking shit. Anyway, showing love, being romantic. Same thing. You got to watch these people that never have nothing to themselves. They just a fit in and shoeing. I don't care what culture it is. Now say, oh, we're Moorish, or we're Kemetic, or we black and we proud, or even if you're not black, whatever it is, we're Christians and we're part of this church. We're Muslims. We're NOI. It doesn't make it sense. Everybody's supposed to have, that mean they have junk DNA. They're overly amount of junk DNA. They're the generational synthesis of generational trauma and socialized trauma in their specific actual life shut down their DNA. It's a sad thing to have to really talk about. But it's real, and it's a lot of those people, no matter what, will have leeching, parasitical, and could be vampire tendencies, even if they just sit back and watch something happen to you. They're part of it. They gave them information, but they only feel so good to do so much bad, so they just going to give him something. He's going to be here at this time. He on over here doing this. They following you and watching, giving. They acting cool with you, but they'll never tell you that they talk to them. But they talking bad about them to try to get you to see how you feel about them. Then they go back and lie and exaggerate. Oh yeah, on jobs, in your business, your entrepreneur business, even somebody you getting wholesale from could be going back making sure you can't get wholesale from nobody else. It could be any kind of circumstances, but as vampire, you got to watch people that don't have no talent, no gifts, no spunk, no spark. That's not natural for melanoids. That got something to do with synthesized and socialized trauma. Hurt people hurt people. So another thing that's real bad going on is it's bizarre. It's some bizarre shit going down in our lives and in our community. You got succubus spirits, which are actual parasites and leeches, which are seeking to take over grown-ass other people's lives. Listen to me. A lot of people that used to be on crack, if you go in these neighborhoods, it don't have to be the worst neighborhood, because like in specifically Southern California, you got people that have middle-class lives because there's middle-class apartments in certain cities that aren't that bad, but California is a liberal state, so it's always helping out people that are in poverty. So you got these people that's born and raised and know nothing but running in and out of prison. They fucked over. The women has been just running their life crazy, not giving a fuck about nothing. They get moved to these neighborhoods. You move into the neighborhood and you're a young man. You got this woman that's in menopause chasing after you, trying to fucking sabotage you. You a young lady moving in the neighborhood. You just passing through, you know what I'm saying? You had a financial fall. Maybe it was the pandemic. You used to living better. They just, all these people, and if one thing they have in common, they were all victims of the crack cocaine epidemic. And y'all need to come to admit certain things, not look down on people, but admit certain people's potential. They might, you just moving, like I said when I first started this, you just moving in a damn apartment. You tired as fuck. You move shit. You don't know them. You should already have friends. Why should they be getting upset if you're not talking to them? You need to, or maybe you're the one. Because someone don't want to give you time of day. Why did you care so the fuck much about them? And why are they caring so much about you? What's going on here? It's some real fucking bizarre shit going on, yo. So we got to know our Satan itself will really have us on some fucked up shit. We'll be in an O-dome and our ego will be surpassing our soul consciousness. And we be the leeches, and we be the parasites, and we be the vampire. Don't let yourself be there. And if you're there, you need to look in the mirror. You need to find out, well, why was I sitting around while some other body was sabotaging a positive brother and a positive sister? Why was I cool with that? You better check yourself and get it, because karma's a motherfucker, and it's coming real bad right now. Because if you think these white supremacists and all these crazy ass people ain't gonna trip out, Donald Trump don't get in position, you think Vladimir Putin gonna keep, and that Chinese man keep putting up with Israel and the United States? You don't think the fucking bowl gonna break? You really think this is a fucking game? This shit is gonna get bad. So it's gonna be like, what spirit are you in? What condition are you in? Are you bitch made? Do you sit around and let people fuck over positive brothers or sisters? And then claim racism is going on? But we can't get right by ourselves. Let's stop the fucking bullshit. And let's not look at it as they just gotta live and learn they wrong, or it ain't me. I couldn't do nothing about it. Let's look at it as succubus spirits, vampire spirits, leeching spirits, parasiting spirits. They're all sabotaging spirits. We shouldn't be doing that to ourselves. Anybody that's doing that are fucking sick. As fucked up as shit is right now. You got people down south and all them, they got all them white supremacist nationalist groups with all them guns and bombs. You think all they got is guns? Are you fucking crazy? They got bombs. They'll bomb us into obliteration. You think in Southern California ain't nothing but Mexican cops? You think they gonna save black people in California? They ain't hardly get along with each other. So why is it okay that grown ass people are trying to take over other grown people or teenagers' lives? That's a parasitical leeching spirit. Why can't a woman go and lie and say this man said that, and men are going to be violent to that man? Or women and men are going to kick off emotional and psychic violence toward that man? Why are we so weak that a woman that we know is a fucking liar can be listened to? It don't matter whether they're your relatives, associates, someone you knew all your life. If they a vampire, leech, a parasite, and you support them in any form and fashion, you are too. Straight the hell up. You are a bizarre made motherfucker. How in the fuck can you be 25 years old, living with yourself, sitting back thinking it's cool to support a vampire? What? It's bizarre out here. You a young person, got time for a hater to be supporting and fucking around with them? Ah, man. You slow. You on a slow bus, though. Because you're going to let them, if they going to take care of your children once you have them, if you don't have them, you building up bad karma for yourself. And that's your future self speaking through me, your future self in the golden age known as Owu. Telling your ass, stop taking this shit lightly. This world is in contention. Everything, if the electricity go out, who was you when it went out? If that bullet hit you and you die, who was you when you passed? You ain't going to that golden age. You're going to come back in a couple of 10 years when the fucking nuclear fallout. And you're going to be suffering. So what I'm saying is an option here. There's options. And even in your everyday life, you need to get your karma straight and stop sitting back watching vampires, leeches, and parasites and supporting them just because they're your homegirl, they're your sister friend. Let her go. Let her grown ass go. She don't care if you have children. She ain't do nothing for them children. She don't care if you have children. She creating karma for you and your children. She is what? What did I say earlier? She's convivious. He's convivious. He's jealous of you, man. So quit being peer pressure to be a bum. Quit being game goofy. What the fuck? Y'all on some weird shit? Yo, that's what I'm saying. You gotta have this consciousness, because your future self wants you to clean up and get on that dragon level like Bruce Lee was on. Like this master teacher that teaches Brother Kashif. Brother Kashif is being taught martial arts by a master teacher. Yo, you know what I mean? Kashif is going to be a master martial arts teacher. I trained with Kashif. Kashif was a balanced soul. He could move with balance. You know what I mean? He could pick up quick on things. So y'all got to be like this on this mental martial arts. This is Owu, the original world you, and this is the teachings of the faith of true right, truth, and rights. This is what I drop. I flow like the rivers. Know what I'm saying? The sun toucher. You is too. Know what I mean? We came from the future, man. You just can't be stuck on that African idea of ancestry. You got to be in ancestralism. But the highest level of it is, I'm telling you, the highest level is your future self communicating with your future self. Don't be on no game goofy shit. Don't be pieces and parcels. Be holistic. So you have to know these people are out to take over innocent people. Slander them. Spirit of false accusation. You slander you. All kinds of scenarios pop up where succubus can target you. You know what I mean? Yeah, give thanks, Kashif Bey. Y'all check with him. You know what I mean? He doing things. He teach you how to farm your foods. We need that, don't you? So you think this shit ain't gonna never end? This little Disneyland in the United States of America shit. You don't think that China's real? I lived out there, man. I lived with Chinese people, the coldest, hardest people on the planet, man. I lived with Russians, cold. I lived in a BRICS country, South Africa and Southern Africa, socialist countries. I know what the fuck is going on. This shit is coming to an end. Y'all need to prepare. One way is to get rid of your Satan self. Don't be a succubus. Don't be any form of them. Don't be a leech parasite or a vampire. Create that great karma for yourself. So all kind of scenarios can come up, right? You're paying with your attention. So the media, social media, right now you could be fucking around on something else on social media and not getting these jewels. So social media is a form created by a fucking vampire. Internet is created by a vampire. Our ancient civilizations already had learned this lesson on other worlds and on this world. And they taught and they made it law, universal law around the whole planet. Don't make no machines in the image of human minds. Because it's bizarre. It becomes bizarre shit going on. Know what I mean? Making machines in the likeness of humans' minds. That's what computers is. And so now the sicknesses of human, but the people that gave it to us are sick ass people. Hyper-capitalism, selfishness, greed. There wasn't no more lands. There's lands to take over, but us being, in their mind, they're slaves. There was nothing else, no physical lands to take over no more. And then they're hyperly competing with each other. So one of them and some of them said, well, let's create these machines that they used to have. Then we can dominate their soul, their spirits through these. They started with TV, which was just programming. They didn't call it broadcasting at first. They called it programming. But now they got this internet and social media. What does it do? It collects information from your mind, collect information from your soul, collect information from your ego. So then you have a nuclear war destruction. After that, they start underground colonies. They can regrow you because they're collecting your DNA when they suck out of some of your, we need to collect some of your blood for this. We need some of your blood for that. Or you go to the hospital for this because you got in a car accident. Any of their blood, any of your skin tissue, they taking it to Helsinki and other places like that. But they collecting these databases, these infinite databases of our expressions. They're going to have me doing this. So they say, okay, like on Demolition Man, the movie, you know what I mean? They're going to remake me. Because I'm Da'u Asaru, the pet bay. Asaru Ma'a. I'm going to bring the noise and put the fucking work in when the lights go out. You better fucking believe it. I'm blading motherfucking self. I'm taking everything the fuck out in my motherfucking path. And whoever don't join me is getting ravaged. Because that's what my future self said I have to do when the lights go out and the World War III kicks in. I know what I'm going to do. What you going to do? You going to be soft? What you going to do? You going to pray? Nah, these women need protection. These children need protection and direction. We need to prepare. Not even just for that crazy shit. You need to prepare for the next level of this evil economic system, this parasitical, leeching, sabotaging economic system. They got everything set up for failure. I hardly got any followers. I've been doing this shit for how long? Because it's a bumper clot. Know what I'm saying? So you pay with your attention on this social media vampire shit, this internet. Just like before this existed, you pay for attention on them bum ass jobs they forced everybody into. This matrix has a goal. It has an end goal. It has an ambition. In the reptilian, the forces, that's the next level of this succubus talk. But right now I want to touch on the levels where it relates with your actual life. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to check with something. So paying with your attention is paying with your spirit. You got to balance this shit, man. You can't just go to the gym and work out in the gym. You need to go out to the park. Go outdoors to the track at the local junior college or university. Play basketball outside too. You need sun. You need the air. You don't need that artificial air. I need y'all to be at y'all best. Your future self is speaking to you. I need y'all to be at y'all best. Your future self in the golden age of Owu. We need to quit dwelling on the future, the past golden age and silver age. Okay, but we need to believe that we're going to usher in the future. We need to be our best. We can't just play around on cell phones all the fucking time. Are you dim with it? You want to be what are you, a big male, like they used to stereotype blonde women? They used to stereotype blonde women like they were goofy little airheads. Come the fuck on, man. You got a spirit and a soul. What are you, this big, buff, perfect looking, you know what I'm saying, with the tapered haircut, perfect braids or whatever, but then you have no soul? You're just an ego and a physical, two-dimensional, three-dimensional being to be programmed? No, you're not. You're greater than that. And your future self is speaking these words to you. So in doing that, you have to understand the social media, the internet machine, the actual physical phones and computer as this one, and the camera, all this shit is vampire. It's made for addiction. So that's part of an odon where your ego is overtaking your soul consciousness. It's made for addiction. It's the same as cocaine, same as poppy seeds, heroin. The same fucking part of you is being affected the same way. So you got to watch how much you play yourself with these damn technology, because we're talking about succubus. So it's these succubus people who had no souls reinvented this shit because our ancestors made an edict. You cannot have machines in the likeness of human minds. So we didn't do that shit no more. But here go these beings with no souls who have taken over our world. They have developed themselves to the point where they can create these machines in the likeness of human minds, black people's minds, in the likeness of melanoids' minds. This is some bizarre shit we living in. We just don't realize it. Yet technology is not bad, but we're seeing the consequences when it's given by the wrong people and used for the wrong reason. So don't be addicted to it is my point. They hope you don't love yourself. Just like a minute ago, I was talking about the people, grown ass people who know other grown people when they see that they're grown, but they're succubuses. They got a succubus spirit, so they're vampire leeches or parasites. So they go after these other adults, targeting them. The same thing with social media, not just advertisers, but just the social media itself is an addiction. So they're targeting you. Just like them parasite ass people I said y'all gotta shake and rebuke and repel, because they let themselves become parasites, vampires, and leeches. And you got to be able to feel yourself and hear yourself. You can't have music, just like back in the day, people used to play music too fucking much and play the TV too much. You can't, the same thing with the social media, or the same, and some people used to hang out too much, be in other people's faces. Attention addiction is not just giving attention or getting attention. It's both. Some people want to give attention too much. Some people want to get attention too much. Some people, the total, like Puff Daddy, that's the motherfucking vampire. That's all the fuck attention is fucking. His ass can't sleep. He slept next to a powder coat because he need attention all the time. This is succubus spirits becoming a succubus. So you're not just addicted to the social media, you're literally becoming a succubus of some form or fashion. It's impossible that you wouldn't. This is how fucked up this shit is that we live in. Know what I mean? Then they have the destiny swappers. So this is where you're getting into vampirism and leechism. I was really focused on parasites. Those are the minions. No, I mean, so this shit is fucking crazy how bum ass people can become.
What we're doing is I'm telling fish that they live in water. There's a young fish and an old fish, and the old fish says, "Hey boy, how's the water today?" And the young fish says, "What's water?" Water. Why? A fish spends its whole life immersed in water.
Okay, are we fish in water? Yes, we are. Because we in a matrix. You need to know that. So Destiny Swappers, we're talking about the vampires now. This is where these people are synthesized with this vampire spirit. They they learn how to do parasitical things, and they learn how to leech, which is taking what's yours, stealing from you, taking the things that's yours, draining your energy, leeching your attention, draining your energy. When you're away from them, they're angry, they're jealous, so they're kicking off this negative vibration towards you. So you're polarized within yourself whether you want to fuck with them or whether you can trust them or not. It's because they're kicking off that negative energy, but they can't stop vampiring you. They can't stop leeching. They're leeching off you, but the vampires turn you in. The vampire state of a succubus is to turn you into what they are. And this is when you're dealing with the spirit of false accusation. You understand? The spirit of false accusations is out here to destroy heterosexual men and heterosexual women, but especially the men. All right? That's its main goal in the United States of America and Europe, in any places that's bowed down to those countries. So you got to beware of these vampires, these leeches, these parasites. You have to be willing. You don't want to become one. So when you look at people and say, I like that, I want to do that. I wish I could do that. I want that. I want to have that. I want that position of power. I want this. You got to be prepared to live with that. So if you call yourself being a parasite leech, ooh, I got this on them. I could parasite them. I can falsely accuse them of this. And then I got a video of them doing this. Like them people, like Puff Daddy try to do those small hat people. Those small cat people. Them small koofy people. Not real koofies. Yeah. Now look where Puff Daddy at. You see, you got to be able to calculate if you call yourself, well, I'm a joiner. Can't beat them. Well, can you handle what the fuck it is to be that? A parasite, a leech, and a vampire. These are reasons why you don't fuck around playing them games. And like I said earlier, some of y'all joined in. Hey, you sitting back watching parasite people, leech people, vampire, you say, well, that's on them. You're going to pay the consequences for that. There's ways you could have wrote a fucking note like I've been doing for 20-something years and left it on their table, in their cubicle, on the job. You could have left it on their door at their apartment. Watch out for such and such is going to do you. They're saying this and this. I've been saving my soul for years. Y'all didn't think about that. You sat back and let somebody get vampire, leeched and parasited and vampire when all you had to do was sneak and write a note and help them. You knew they were innocent. This is what we got to do. It's your future self speaking to you. Be clever in creating good karma for yourself. I repeat, be clever when creating good karma for yourself, because they sounding the alarms. We in contentious times. You have to make sure you're not envying and jealous in people, because that's not your calling. That's not your gift and talent. And everything comes with politics. So can you handle can you handle that vibration? Let them be what they is. Be what you is. Find what's for you. Because you don't know how cold their heart is and how blanked out their mind is just to be in that position. How ignorant they are about certain things in life. How much of an old on there, how much is their ego dominating them versus their soul consciousness. You need your soul consciousness to be as vibrant as much. Overwhelming your ego consciousness. The ego has to be there as for its purpose, but your soul consciousness has to be the dominant. You understand? You have to know that these vampires seek to latch themselves to you. And just like the parasites, they seek to go behind their back and portray themselves as you or in the likeness of you, but while campaigning against you and speaking and instigating people against you. That's right. Bringing value to them, but they're devaluing you. This is the strategy, the tendency of these vampire spirits. So Destiny Swappers is getting into witchcraft. All right. So let's check a little bit with that. It's getting bizarre out here, y'all. I got something for you. Thank y'all. Don't forget to comment. Thank you for, if y'all want to call in, that's the phone number. Check DavidDemetri.com for my book, Outline to Empower. You can email me for a copy, etc. It will be available on the platforms in the next few months. Outline to Empower. How to do and what to know for evolutionary living. And my film Outline is going to be available after January. The film is based off the book. It's a reflection of the book. I'm going to share something with y'all. In the gambling world, there's all form of different vampires.
Gambling vampirism is real. You better watch it. You might lose not just everything you have materially, but spiritually. You end up a zombie.
Vampires, energy leeches, also known as zombies. Don't be one.
And that's where we're at right now. Everything that we're looking at, America's trying to figure out which way to go. Grizzly smuggling. Here's an article about what I'm talking about. No, we don't make these things up. This actually happened. And that's who's running this country right now.
Political vampirism is real. It could be a good public servant, but that public servant acting as just a politician selfishly would make them a vampire.
People try to say, oh, well, I don't see color. When I look, I don't see. That's bullshit. You can't say,
Yes,
I don't see color.
Peace, hotel, shalom, one love. It's the Metaphysical Life Coaching and Guidance Counseling, the MLCGC video tutorial series. These tutorials are designed specially for teenagers and young adults. Creator and lead practitioner David Johnson. So yeah, that's the MLCGC dealing one of the MLCGC Metaphysical Life Coaching and Guidance Counseling videos, of which I created. I'm the lead protagonist. I created those back in 2014. It was a series. I will be releasing them. Just dealing with distributors, etc. So now you know it's a serious thing when we're dealing with vampires, parasites, leeches, the succubus spirit. You're not alone out there. Again, you can leave comments. You can call in if you got a story you want to tell. And you have to understand that we all can, after living in this society so long, we all could end up having tendencies toward succubus spirits. Now, when I say succubus, I know y'all thinking about sex, and you thought I was going to come on here with some hypothetical shit. I'm not a hypothetical teacher. Know what I mean? Seriously. I don't do the if, ands, and buts, and maybes, and all that. You know what I'm saying? Witches, warlocks, spooks, and Holy Ghosts. I'm here to defraud the hoax. I mean, we need to be dealing with solutions on real life, what we dealing with. And that's why I was speaking about real life situations. You got these parasites. Like I said, people from the crack cocaine era, it'd be a lot of people from the crack cocaine era, from the era that I grew up in, they got caught up in that shit. That spirit took them over, you know what I mean? And anybody that was on fucking crack more than likely is a lifelong fucking hater. If they closet smoking and shit, anybody fucking with that shit is a fucking hater. They're gonna be a fucking hater. They're gonna be jealous. They can't stay out of people's faces, or they don't got nothing. They don't feel good about themselves. You know what I'm saying? They be turning into vampires and leeches and parasites. The same with these people that are on that fucking meth. Be fucking jealous and envious real quick, or super followers, whatever, group thinking all the time. Can't never step out and be like, leave that person alone. They're not doing anything about it. They don't ever stand up for righteousness. You know what I mean? Unless they totally get off that shit and change themselves, which is a rarity. So I want y'all to look out for that shit. And if you know, well, man, I get high and this and hey, man, if you start standing up for people, standing up for what's right, you know what I mean, and you put that shit behind you, I know that you can do better for people than other people. But I'm just saying, it's a lot of people out here that got stuck in a zombie because of whatever trauma they had, and also because of those addictions or habits of fucking with them mind bending and spirit crashing drugs. They get in an odon, and like I said, an odon in the Ifa Yoruba language and Ifa teachings is when your ego consciousness is taken over your whole soul. Your soul consciousness is dimmed out. Now, the Akan teaching, the Ifa teaching, the Bakongo, they all got the same teaching. And I'm pretty sure other indigenous people all over the world had this teaching. Your ego consciousness is not supposed to overwhelm your soul consciousness. You're supposed to be a soul being. You're supposed to be vibrating soul consciousness. You're supposed to interpret reality, respond, react through your soul awareness. And you're supposed to teach, vibrate, make people laugh, make people feel good, be romantic, you know what I'm saying? Be sexy. Everything has to be intelligent. Be creative. All that's supposed to be soul consciousness. It's not supposed to be based off of your ego. So we got a lot of stuff that's going on, and a lot of bitter things going on and tendencies going on with vampirism. You know what I mean? On a governmental level, like I was just speaking about in the metaphysical life coaching and guidance counseling video. So y'all are prioritized on people that are running for office. You're paying with your attention. Now, I get it. You know, these WS people, white supremacists, these that have been disenfranchised because they're getting their karma. They're supposed to be disenfranchised. They're supposed to be either changing and adapting, but what they're choosing to do is stay the same, so they want a war. They're at war with you, and you don't even realize it. And then it's like, because you're so enjoying the vampire technology, or you're being vampired by other people or trying to avoid them, or you're just happy-go-lucky, which is a rarity if you're over 25 years old. What is it? So, of course, you want Kamala Harris. If you want to be anti-harming of yourself. So you say, I'm with her. She's not for you. The entire system is fraudulent. And I'm going to prove it to you right now. The entire system is fraudulent. And by the way, I'm the one with the political science degree on 2 continents. And not only that, the 3rd continent, I study international humanitarian law. So if anybody want to try to debate me and think they know more about this, I'm pretty sure you never even heard the term public diplomacy, but I worked on 3 continents doing it. You understand? There's a lot more to things than what you're being told. I'm going to share something with y'all. And I'm being very cool, quiet, and calm because I want y'all to think about what I was just saying. If I keep running my mouth too much, you will not be able information sit in your subconscious, but it needs to. So don't be bored. Deep breathe. Play with your turtles, your doggies, your cats. Roll your blunt. Know what I'm saying? Feel and joy. Water your plants. I'm going to share something with you. But don't be playing on your phone. Get off your fucking phone. Quit playing on your laptop.
But between 1946 and 2000, America is documented to have interfered with, tampered with, malignly influenced, or outright rigged at least 88 elections from Europe to Latin America to Asia to Africa. So again, if you think that they'll do this everywhere else, but your so-called democracy is pristine, I would have to ask you why you think so. Why would it be more important to the power structure to control the outcome of an election in, say, Guyana, than it would be for them to control the outcome of an election in the United States of America? Because yes, Guyana is one of the countries where America rigged elections in the past. I'm telling you, I don't care who you vote for, because power doesn't care who you vote for, because the outcome is not determined by you. You know, Biden stepped aside because his pre-programmed victory could never be convincing. But look, Biden himself, the fact of Biden, a man who is literally in late-stage senility, a man who is visibly disintegrating before our eyes, the very fact that he was not only president, but was absolutely going to be run for another term, despite being a cadaver on strings, that should let you know that power does not reside in that office. Politicians serve two functions. The first is to distract you with the performance of democratic government, and the second is to be effigies that can be burned to satisfy public anger when the policies dictated by the private sector impose misery on the population. So when an American asks me who should they vote for, or when they say that this one is better than that one, or at least not as bad as that one, and what do I think, and so on and so on and so on, well, you may as well be asking me about which Marvel superhero is better than the other, because you're not talking to me about figures who have any real significance with regards to policy. You're not talking to me about figures who actually exert any control over anything. You're not talking about the real existing power structure. You're asking me to give you an opinion about a fictional scenario in which your government wields independent power. As long as you're fixated on this charade, there's no danger whatsoever of you ever having any impact on policy. You're just facilitating and collaborating with the divide and conquer tactics of the owners and controllers of global financialized capital. And I don't know how you can be so propagandized, to be honest. I don't know how you can be so propagandized that you can't even notice that actually your own media does tell you every day that the government is not in charge. I mean, how many times have you read, or how many times have you heard in the media, the market will decide? We'll have to see what the market does, and so on. But when they say the market, they don't mean you and I. They mean big business, multinational corporations, asset managers, stock market whales, not voters, not citizens, not Democrats, and not Republicans. You live in an oligarchy, and your so-called democracy is only performed as a distraction to keep you from noticing that fact.
Bumble clock. Yo, I just want that to sit into y'all consciousness. I want it to sit into y'all consciousness that I'm proud of you, that your spiritual, your soul consciousness is aligned with your spirit In the Amen, the nature of nature. You are aligned in a tone with the nature of nature. The Amen, the Supreme. Inyame, Wa, Inyame, Yakampa. Elo Dumare, Ma Wuvisa. The Ama, Re, Amu, Ra. Atumarayatin Re. Yakampa. Gratitude to the Amen. Akamai Tautep. Asheo. Give thanks. Gratitude. I appreciate y'all. I do understand how the consciousness works, so I slowed down so y'all can. But we're still on the succubus spirit. Remember, you can call in. If you have something to say, if you comment, I will read the comment because I respect y'all feelings and thoughts. I want to share a solution with you. Is that okay? This will be a minute and a little bit more covering a solution on how to come out of an odon and come back in the soul consciousness. Therefore, you can bring value to the world and be back into that centered self, valuing your true self.
How do you decrease your jealousy with others? The easy technique that you can try starting today is to rejoice in other people's merits or other people's good deeds. So what that means is anytime you see someone doing good, anytime you see someone's good qualities, acknowledge that. In the beginning, it may not feel so genuine, and that's okay, and that's normal, but continuously keep practicing this. And the more that you do this over and over, slowly but surely your jealousy will decrease, and slowly and genuinely you will start to be happy for others.
Oh, yeah. So, back to what I was saying, the destiny swappers are very important to understand. That's where we're getting into witchcraft, all right, y'all? That's where you're getting into witchcraft. We have to talk about witchcraft because witchcraft has risen in its amount of its manifesting into our world. I'm going to share something with you about witchcraft. You need to really realize the destiny swapper is probably already pressed unto you. That's, you have to fight against it. You have to come out of it. I'm going to give you some solutions.
We are in a period in which especially young people feel that their future is in jeopardy, because it is.
Add to that a pandemic. Faced with such uncertainty, magic offers a way to take back some control.
Witches are the ultimate feminists because they are taking control of their life, their destiny, and the power that the universe has to offer to them. And they're not letting anyone else determine their destiny, basically.
Groups including WITCH, this feminist group last active in the 70s, are back in business, and social media has helped witchcraft spread like wildfire.
Once you have dedicated sites on social media where these things spread, you can, a legend, a rumor, a conspiracy theory can go around the world and reach hundreds of thousands of viewers in just a few seconds.
But the real magic of witchcraft is that it makes people feel a little more powerful.
So, I wanted to share that with y'all because you have to understand we have our own culture right here in the United States, and it's a little bit different than in other places. Correct? So what we do have to realize is if you're a black person of African descent, the term of any kind of indigenous black descent, the term witchcraft is a derogatory term, but in Europe, it's actually a living culture where it's actually a positive term. So when I use witchcraft, I don't use it in a sense of a positive term. I use it in a sense from my culture. And witchcraft is vexing, sabotaging, hatred, using the energies to harm another. You know what I mean? I didn't say Ifa. I didn't say African indigenous culture. I didn't say Black American indigenous culture. I didn't say Obey. I said witchcraft. And it should be clear to all of you because that's who we are. We know our culture and we know what we use that word for, but others who are tuned in might not know that about us. So we're not disrespecting the European culture, but witchcraft is on the rise amongst our people. Melanoid people. Destiny swapping. Men specifically, you have been disabled. And it's disheartening to know how much you have been disabled because they told you to be promiscuous. It's natural. Everybody's going to experiment with sex. But you have more responsibility as you age. You have people depending on you, and you need to fulfill your destiny, which is the divine purpose of why you're in this world. And ensuring to get your destiny swapped out by some woman who's going to end up getting her destiny swapped out by some man who's a warlock. And that's what's happening. Ultimately, these destinies never manifest. That's right. You're hearing it from me. And literally, it's bizarre. It's literally, it's weird. Just like them sounds you're hearing. And it's really tripping to me because this isn't new information for me. This big thing about witchcraft and all that, I was already dealing with that my whole entire life. My whole entire life. You know, it was never a myth. It wasn't like sound the alarm. That's not what I feel like I'm doing. I feel like I'm relating with you, your soul consciousness, pushing past your ego consciousness. Because we're talking about succubus. So we're talking about vampire, leeches, and parasites. Those are the three types of succubus spirits. And they all sabotage. So you getting these destinies dumbed down. Did you know there should be heroes running around here? But they were just looked at as men. By which warlock men? Or by which women? And whether they call themselves warlocks or witches, They were in what? Vexing. They were what? Coveting. They were jealous. The biggest thing to be jealous of is somebody's happiness, their spirit, their gratefulness. You want to be mean to them, nasty, distract them from happiness. You want to take away their spirit of gratefulness. That positivity, that love, fun, their humor. You can't laugh no more. You're a grumpy chump. You're miserable. So you got these warlock spirits, these people, so they get the wishing. They sitting back wishing they was like you. So what it turns into is bitter hate. And it's synthesized through their parents. And then it's socialized through their upbringing and their traumatic experiences. Oh yeah, this is some realness. This is what's going on and what you've been going through. You have to go back, if you're 30, 35, 40, and you need to find out what wasn't fulfilled that was supposed to be fulfilled. Because you might need to go and put the energy into fulfilling it. Because you need to see where you were sabotaged and where you took that loss and it was supposed to be a temporary loss, but you never went back and fulfilled it. It's a cold game. Because you might look and say, hold on. Since this person came in my life, I'm losing. But since I came in their life, they're winning. It's a cold game. The truth is bitter. You're in the danger zone, y'all. You in the danger zone. You understand? But you gotta cool it down and realize you are a true and living soul. You're a true and living god or goddess. You see, people are going as far as doing ceremonies. And it doesn't even take that. It just take those 2-3 haters that are faking like they met you individually and faking like they don't know each other. All realizing none of them are the one to be able to break you. They can't get you to friend with any of them. They can't get you to conversate really. You just high and by and keep it moving or don't say shit to them. So those feelings and why you can't sleep, you up at night, your heart is burning. That's right, your heart is burning. Or it could be that man you let in your life, woman. Or that woman you let in your life, man. You got 3 clues. You can't sleep at night, and it's not excitement and happiness because of the romance. And you're getting a funny vibe, a nasty vibe, a feeling of anger from them, a scheme, a scam. You're hearing the conversations. Or you feel it. You're not as adept as the other, as your extrasensory perception doesn't allow you to hear your enemy speaking, your opposition, your parasite leecher, your hater, but you can feel it. And it feels bad and you can't sleep. You heard the term a cut a throat, and you need to learn how to cut a cord. You need to learn how to cut a cord. You know what I'm saying? And red flagging ain't gonna help you. Some things you're supposed to go through to grow. You got one of the worst things in this society is a stupid ass red flagging. That's some dumb ass shit. It's not letting people learn and grow. If Ice Cube was red flagging Dre, and if Dre was red flagging, come on, man. If Jay-Z was red flagging fucking Damon Dash, y'all can't be that slow, can you? To think that you can run from life? Man, it could be scary. That means if you in a condition where you're scared to mess with people because you notice something wrong with them, who the fuck are you? You don't have to get on my fucking live stream. I don't even like people that stupid. How can you be that stupid? There's something wrong with everybody, man. And then you sitting up there teaching your kids to be scared to death. You think the people they love is scary to death? They had to meet the people that hooked them up. They had to get in arguments and have problems with the people that they get in the industry with and the business with. You don't do that. You don't cripple children and teenagers by telling them no all about everything and telling them they're wrong about everything. You also don't tell them to be scared of everything. You wouldn't have had Tupac Shakur. I thought y'all was down. I thought you loved Tupac. You know how many mistakes he made? You know how many people did shit to him? Lauryn Hill. Barack Obama. Give yourself a break. That's just something I never fell for, is red flagging. So I wouldn't wish that on anybody. That's stupid. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't have, if everybody in Black Wall Street was sitting up red flagging each other, they were, well, he was from such and such plantation. Well, look, they dress like them over there from there. Yeah, let's not build a great life for ourselves together, because let's distrust each other. Distrusting everything, that's not cowardice. That's conformation. Being a conformant is cowardice. So let's not get caught up in that. But like I was saying, there's all kind of witchcraft going on that has ignorantly. They're not consciously competent that they're doing witchcraft. They're just vexing. Like they say in Jamaica, they just got a bad mind. But there's no such thing as just bad mind. There's bad hearts. So when you connect those bad spirits, bad heart, and bad mind, they're vibrating all kind of negativity. You end up having a car accident. Something bad go wrong in your life. All of a sudden, you're getting injuries. Your knee twisted. You never had a knee twist. You doing martial arts. You got beat up in your sparring. That dude could never touch you. You know what I'm saying? Your child falls sick. Your child never got sick. You know what I'm saying? You got you can't get it right at work. You never had a problem with getting it right. You with the wrong man, sister. They're vexing you. They're envying and jealous you. Or the other woman that he's messing with is envying and jealous in you because she could feel that he's messing around. The same thing with a woman, man. It don't have to be that they're consciously, competently doing witchcraft on you. They could be ignorant than a mug. But what could happen is they game goofy ass don't even realize this woman that they messing around behind this, you know what I mean? This man, that woman has a man, but they messing with you. Or you're their man and they messing behind your back. That man bad vibe goes on her and it synthesizes through you. All that bad energy becomes mishaps in your life, bad fortune in your life. So now you're sabotaged, succubus spirit out. And everybody thinks succubus is just some spirit coming to you in a dream. Please, succubus is a living spirit of energy, vibrating and instigated through human consciousness. And so you have to realize these are levels to look out for succubus spirits in your personal life, in your intimate relationships, and even family members. You messing with them, but you're getting those vibes. Business partners. You see? So don't feel bad and get an imposter syndrome because people aren't dealing with you. Another thing, people are not dealing with you and giving you a chance. It's not just that they're red flagging. They want you to, that's another thing that's wrong with red flagging. People are using red flag to deceive good and sincere people that want to do business, that want to do, I'm an author. I want people to buy my book. I give them my flyer, I give them my car, I send them an invite and this and this. They don't respond, but they told me they would, this and this. They do that when people do that type of shit, or you're doing it because you're becoming a succubus, a vampire. It's because you got imposter syndrome. You don't really feel good about yourself. You don't feel like you can achieve. You don't feel like you can do the work. You don't think you can achieve what this person is showing you they've already achieved, let alone what they're not telling you. Or they don't feel like they can achieve what you achieved and like what you offering them, the value you want to bring to them. Don't let them cause you Don't keep fucking with people like that, because they're gonna bring you down. You don't have low self-esteem. You don't have imposter syndrome. You ain't gonna be able to show up and show out when you need to. Let the busters and the weak be just that. Let them be weak. Let them be busters. Let the ignorant be ignorant. But the purposeful, we're gonna get into that before I close out. Destiny swappers are people that are actually doing ceremonial witchcraft. So you like her or him because he got all the tattoos and all the piercings, you got to watch out, because destiny swappers. A lot of people, destiny is really based off of conservative things. It's not based off of being an attention grabber. It's also not based off of being an attention avoider. No, these people think because they're quiet, that's their power, or that make them, or they're unnoticeable. No, you got to watch all that. Everything is supposed to be balanced. And so you have to know that people are purposely doing witchcraft. Then you got the ignorant people, like the thugs, the people that are like gang bangers. They don't realize this shit is real, so they be doing witchcraft on accident. They're not consciously competent. But then you got the people that are into witchcraft, like I just showed the video, and they're learning all these different ways, and they're sitting up getting roots out the ground and doing stuff. That shit is affecting your life. It's a lot of us that are like literally in conscious mind states and have partial identity crisis and have partial identity loyalty to things that are not beneficial to ourselves. And that's why it is an identity crisis, whether it's whole or partially, because it's not benefiting you. Your future self and your ancestors want things to benefit you, but you're not in touch with your future self. You see, you're not in touch with your soul. You want some ego consciousness, or somebody rubbed some witchcraft over you. You're going 10, 15 years of your life on some beat shit that don't have shit to do with why you came in this world. You're made up a certain way. No, tune back in. I'm going to hook y'all up on some more science behind all this, my next few talks, because I really didn't get into science. I had to lay the foundation. I had to be real calm and cool. And I had to let y'all know. But I'm going to get into the science of the conscious competence versus the unconscious competence, and where it affected your life, and how to see if you're under the spell. If you're under a spell, and how to get out of those spells. And it ain't no hocus pocus. It's knowledge of self. It's knowledge of truth. It's knowledge of Satan. It's knowledge of trick knowledge. No, benevolence, love every time. Enjoy your day. Oh yeah, gratitude. And I want y'all to remember, you're the only you. Fun up. Give thanks. The summer is coming to an end. It's not as hot. You made it through it. Shine your light and receive your light. Any communication, DavidDemetri1@gmail. Go to DavidDemetri.com for my book, Outline to Empower. If you want a pre-copy, signed copy, whatnot. You want to know more, it's about the book on the website. Go to David Demetri Live in Color. If you're not on the YouTube, subscribe and everything. See the opportunities. I have different courses on there, how-to courses, whatnot, and entertainment. My song, David Demetri Live in Color, will be released. You know what I'm saying? And the video will be released too. And so I want y'all to know that I do this for y'all, and just give you a sneak peek.
David Demetri is light in color. Prime Up International, now's perfect time. Vibrate with the glowing glow, enhance your shine. Prime Up International, energize your shine. Vibrate with glowing glow, now's now's perfect time. Prime up on 'em, smooth on the come up. Davidemetri is live in color. Prime up on 'em, hackers won't run up. Davidemetri is live on grind. Prime up on 'em, bow for the fun up. Davidemetri brand life online. Prime up international, now's perfect time. Y'all shine, invigorating souls. Love how you bone. Time now, don't stall on hold. Keep set it on go. All mine, I'm taking y'all hearts on both. Lend me your souls. Make social media make sense, y'all status on slow. Baby, don't fold. Haters exposed, give them no growth. That blows them hoes. Big up investors, divestors, tricksters, too jealous and cold. Networks.